Hey, buddy. What you doing? I'm really glad you're here because I needed to chat. I'm so lonely. Listen. Woo, the last couple days have been rough for me. Uh, if you didn't grab something to drink, do that. Maybe even pack a lunch because who knows how long we're really going to be here. But I have a bunch of stuff I wanted to tell you. So, made myself some chocolate milk. I put 3 scoops of Ovaltine because that's where I'm at in life. And so, yes, get yourself something to drink. It's a 3 scoop kind of day, y'all. So, Sunday night, I normally wouldn't be calling you this late, except that I just have a lot to tell you, a lot on my mind. And, my dogs are taking a nap, so they're not here to listen to me talk. So, yay, it's you. I know you're excited. I really am too. But anyway, took a nap today cuz again, chocolate milk and naps are where I'm at in life right now. And I had this dream that I was making a sandwich. It was going to have like a big sub with like turkey and lettuce and avocado and some like I don't know, oil and vinegar in there. I don't know. Anyways, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be really good." And I get done making the sandwich and I look down and pick it up and it's like a crescent roll with like a smear of something that looked kind of like tuna on it. And I was like, oh, that's not what I expected, you know? So yeah, like totally disappointed. Anyways, yeah, that's my day today. Uh, uh-huh. On the dream note, I had a dream a couple nights ago that I went to bed asking for some guidance and um woke up in the morning and remembering the dream that I had, which was like my YouTube thumbnail with 90 days to off grid. So that's my guidance. I need to make a 90-day to off grid challenge. Now, that probably won't start until next whatever, like closest, it's February, so we only have 28 days. So I could probably start it like March 2nd or something. Anyway, here's the shocker. You don't know me very well yet, but I can't do math, even in real life. Like, I'm not good at math. And so I have this dream and I'm like, that's interesting because in my mind I know the month, but I didn't like count. So, anyways, I had to count and it totally is 90 days. And I'm like, I know that didn't come from me. That didn't come from like my subconscious mind because I'm certainly not doing addition problems or math problems in my dream state. I can barely do that when I'm awake. So anyway, so that was interesting. So something that I will probably start next week is my 90-day countdown, which is a little bit scary because it's a commitment and you don't know this about me yet, but like I don't like commitments. Like I've never signed a phone contract ever because I don't like commitments. Like T-Mobile for the win, even though it's been like 17 years that I've been with T-Mobile. It's like my longest relationship ever. As long as we didn't, like, put a ring on it or anything. So there's that. Anyways, so yeah, I'm feeling a little bit intimidated by doing that, but I think it'll be good, and the time frame lines up. And actually, the 3-month countdown is when things should start getting really real. And right now, like, we're chatting, kind of getting to know each other. We're in the getting to know each other phase, no labels or anything. But I promise you, I'm a lot more fun than just what you see here. So you do have something to be excited about. It's just on its way. Chocolate milk is a little bit chunky because it was Ovaltine. It's that dry powder. I really wanted the malt one, but all they had was like the milk chocolate one. But it's totally fine. I'm gonna get malt next time. Honestly, I really do like the Ovaltine stuff. It's got some good, like, I guess it's got vitamins in it. I like it more than like chocolate milk. But I'm also I've been putting a scoop of like plant-based chocolate plant-based powder in it. It's like chocolate shake whatever. Anyway, I got it probably a couple years ago, and I've just been using it now for a few weeks. So I really like that. I've so disclaimer, I just made you a video and I changed my mind about it. Like, I did all of my ranting and raving in that video, and I think that because I did that, like, this video is way more fun than the other one was. So, yeah. So, congratulations, I guess, on that. Anyway, um, yeah, the plant-based shake, which I really like. But then I've also been doing a couple of other things, which are I've been doing a superfood moringa powder and Bloom energy. Like, it has so I've seen the cans, and I got one of those at the store the other day. It's like an energy drink, but it has good stuff on the back, and I've seen other people use it. That's how I know about it. um I like energy drinks. It's just that, actually, well, some usually they make me sick, though. Like, I don't feel good, and sometimes I really do need the boost of energy. I fight fatigue a lot, and especially right now, so fatigue and overwhelm and analysis paralysis are big in my life right now, and so anything to help me combat that. So, the Bloom energy drink I really did like. But when I went back to the store, I was hoping to find a case of it. They had like sodas, like pop. I think it's called Bloom Pop. And I didn't want that. I wanted like energy. So they had some in like the muscle people aisle. Um, it was a pre-workout Bloom, and I didn't know that they made that. I don't know what prompted me to look over there, but they do have it. And so, well, just that I was hoping to find the energy drink in powder form, but it just so happens it's like the pre-workout. So it calls for like a whole scoop in your drink, and then you're supposed to sip on it. Holy cow, y'all. I didn't do the whole scoop initially. I did like half the scoop. The first day. And then after that, I did like a fourth of a scoop. And I've been doing a fourth of a scoop every day for about the last week, I guess. A fourth of a scoop. It has a ton of vitamins and minerals and nutrients in it. And honestly, if I'm going to do something for energy, I really want it to be based on that. And so, I'm not having any weird reactions from it. Like I said, I'm not getting any kind of headaches, and usually like fake sugar stuff gives me headaches, but a lot of that stuff, I mean, how could it not be fake sugar? So I know that when I read on the back, it said something like it wasn't aspartame, it was something asparfame or fame or something. So I'm assuming it's in the same category. I would rather it be something like monk fruit or date sugar or stevia, because I think stevia grows on a plant. But um anyways, excuse me, it's the chocolate milk. Oat milk, because I can't have dairy like that. I would die if I drank a whole thing of milk. So just know it's not that. Anyway, the aspartame usually does give me a headache, and so I have wondered, like, but it doesn't seem to be bothering me negatively at all. And as a matter of fact, I'm not sure what all it is, because I think I said this, but like even the Ovaltine stuff has vitamins in it. I'm taking multivitamins and I'm taking some different stuff. I also take some stuff through Ollie, and I'm trying out some of their products because I can get them for a decent price at one of the stores. Which I'll talk about. Like, that's not what this is about, except that it is about me feeling better energetically lately, and drinking, doing these, adding these new things into my life that I think are helping with things like energy and fatigue and stuff like that. And so like I won't try anything without like I wouldn't tell anybody else about anything if I don't love it. but but with the Bloom stuff, like I have really liked their stuff. And the first thing that I had bought two things, and it was the like No More Stress and Hello Happy. And I was really stressed one day and went and took like three of those. And they're like gummies, if you're not familiar. Anyway, I noticed within like 15 minutes that I just was like, whoa, I feel way better. And like even the Hello Happy does help. I was surprised to see that it's got like use saffron. I was like, I didn't know saffron did anything for like energy. So I was surprised to see that. Anyways, I'm trying out some of their other stuff too, and so if it does work, I will tell you guys about it. But I am gonna try to get sponsored by them if I keep liking their stuff, because I really would love to be sponsored when I get a little bit, going. Um, but I would love to be sponsored by a product that I can really stand behind and that I really love. So, anyways, all of that. Um, yeah. So I think the plant-based protein one has been good in here. And I'm going to start looking for another one because, like I said, I think I've had that container for a few years. And I probably picked it up at like TJ Maxx or something like that. It might be I got it at the bin store. I don't remember. But, anyways, having that in here, it's got like the little shaker ball in it. But there's still some chunky stuff, which is what started this whole discussion. Which is fine, I guess. There's surprises. There's surprises in my drink. Um, so on the dream note, a couple nights ago, I went to bed asking for guidance, and I woke up to the 90-day off grid. Did I already tell you about this? Okay, I don't want to make a whole nother video again, so I'm just gonna keep talking. I don't know if like I said, I made another video and I talked for like 45 minutes and then I was like, okay, let me not post that one. I'm gonna post a different one just because I got some of my frustrations out in that video. So, anyways, um, so after the incident with the heating and air unit and stuff like that, I did end up getting my bill. I don't think I told you this. Like I said, I've made several videos this week that I did not post. Just because I need to get better at some stuff. Like even this angle I don't like, but I can't get my thing to move down. So I'm having to practice some of this stuff. So just like, thanks for hanging out with me through that. Anyway, um I ended up getting my power bill and it was $350. And that's been weighing on me a little bit because the whole point of me wanting, like, my plan has never been off grid. It's been homestead. And that's why I moved to Tennessee, was so I could buy a property with a house with power and have a homestead. Mostly, hold on, my dog wants outside. Okay, I'm back. I moved you a little bit closer. Hopefully it's okay like that. The problem is that I have short arms, and for me to feel like I'm not in your bubble or you're not in my bubble, I have to be able to reach it to turn it on, but also be far enough away that it's like comfortable for both of us. Anyway, cold. Um, having dogs. The whole last video that I made, there was some background noise, and I don't know, maybe was chewing on their bone or something. It was like this clicking noise through the entire video because of the dogs. And then the big dog, the white one, Lucky, tried to jump up on my lap like while I was chatting, and he's huge. He's like 105 pounds. And he thinks he's a lap dog, which he totally is in personality, just not in size. So anyways, he's a love bug. He's a total love bug. But anyways, so yeah, they're just very distracting. So Rex just had a big long, you know, 3-minute drink. I'm sure you heard that. And then he had to go potty, which he already did, but he needed to go again after that big long drink, I guess. Anyways, the garden. So that's the plan. That was the plan, just a homestead with a big garden. And then things got crazy as soon as I got here. It was like, I got here and thought, okay, like I'm going to rent for a year, and the housing prices went way up. And the dream to buy a property just like became further out of reach. And so there was a couple other things that happened. Like I just started talking to a lender, and then my student loan came out of deferment, but there was like two parts of the loan, and so it totally crashed my credit from like, yeah girl, you got this, to no, you don't got this. Anyways, I was like, okay, that happened. And then, yeah. So, anyway, buying a property with already a built house on it just doesn't seem like it's in the cards. And, and that's like I ended up coming across this some of the sites that are like owner financed properties, which I love. I love the idea of that. And that's exactly what is appealing to me, but also what I know I could pay off fairly quickly. Um, Especially with the prices and some of the properties that I'm finding, like that is a good choice for me. And so anyway, but I got that bill and I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I got really angry. Like, my rent is high, my electric is high, and I'm just like sick of paying people to live. Um, yeah, I would rather be investing that into like a long term life of my choice rather than being here where I'm not happy. I don't want to be, and it's not going into my future. I don't even want to go out there and like do container gardening or anything like that, because I don't want to put in any work into where I'm at and then have to just clean it up, pick up and move or whatever, with the exception of one thing. And I have like done container gardening at other places that I've rented. And that was good. I didn't get much. The tomato plants, so I did that in South Carolina, and my tomato plants went crazy there. Like I had oh my goodness. It was like little tomatoes. I maybe like cherry tomatoes. Anyways, they did great. Great. They were just the vine was loaded, and it was like coming up on the first freeze, which was like had to have been in November. I mean, it was loaded. My plant was loaded. And I ended up picking them all off, all the green tomatoes, because we were coming up on a freeze. And I ended up making fried green tomato fritters with a marmalade and something kind of dip or jam. And so I did that one year. Anyway, so I have done the container gardens. I did like this little oh my goodness, they were black tomatoes and they were called indigo rose. And I that plant didn't do a lot for me. Like it didn't it wasn't a huge producer. It could have been a couple different things. I don't know why, but so I used to always kind of have a small outdoor garden thing going on, but just within pots and plants. Um, so, but I don't want to do that here. The only, and I did end up getting a blackberry bush. It's like my manifestation to where I'm going, So I've had the blackberry bush for a year now. It's in a container out there and it did have vines on it, um but it has those vines died, and then everything that is still there is close to the ground, so to speak, in the planter. And it's like right on over the dirt, which the leaves, so it's doing really good. We did have snow, we did have freezing temperatures, and we had an ice storm, and it's the leaves are still pretty purple, they're not dying, and so I'm pretty happy about that. That gives me good hope that I've had it in that container for a full year, actually, because I think almost I think I got it in around March or April of last year, maybe June. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, It's done well all year. It did really well over the summer, although it did not produce any fruit. But what I like is that if it doesn't produce for the first year or two, then I'm getting those out of the way in the planter before I move. So I didn't want to take anything with me. I have a whole bag of seeds. So me and my son have been saving seeds for 5 years. I cannot wait to plant our seeds and just get them going. And so this is why, for me, a greenhouse is going to be a priority. As soon as I get on my property, this is the first thing that I want to do is get some of these planted. But in here we have a bunch of different kinds of melons, strawberries. I've got peaches, um, zombie apples. They're pluots, plums, and apricot mixture. They have a bright red center, but the outside is kind of like an ugly color or whatever. But when you bite into them, like they drip all the red yummy juices. Anyways, that's why we call them zombie apples, because um they make you look like you're living zombie life, yo. Anyways, we just have a ton of stuff here. And any of the specialty fruit and vegetable items that we would get at places like Trader Joe's or um, Sprouts, too. Sprouts always had a good variety of fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, and unusual things like the Santa melons, and I've got a Miko melons in there, and so those are fun, and I'm hoping that they will produce. So we'll see. Like I said, some of them may and some of them may not. I found tangerines that were outstanding a couple weeks ago. I think they're called, I think they're tangerines. They're called like crunch tangerines or something. And they did have a nice crunch to them, and they were sweet and delicious. Anyway, trying to find the garden is my top priority when I move, but having power, like off grid, was never really a plan for me. And if I think I mentioned it, but I can't go back. The way my camera is set up, I can't go back and watch it and start over. I would have to piece it together, and I'm not there with my editing, so please forgive me. But if I didn't mention this, or if I already did and it was just in the other video that I'm not going to be uploading, but I had a dream that my my YouTube thing was 90 days to off grid, and I had asked for guidance. I think I did say this. I had asked for guidance and woke up to that. And part of me was like, "Oh my god, like that sets it in stone." I think it's a great idea, and I think I will do that starting next week. But the other thing was that it said off grid. And the thing is, my plan has never been off grid. Like, that's never been my plan. Like, I do want power. I want the option to do other stuff so I'm not paying $350 power bills. But I don't mind paying a $50 power bill. I don't care about bringing in water. I don't care about the other things. But I do want to at least start out with power. Now, that is becoming more and more challenging because properties that already have power on them seem to be much higher. And my goal is to find the best priced property that I can with enough acres to be good and that I can pay off quickly. Price, enough acres, and and I want the desert tree. Like, I want juniper trees or whatever trees. It would be cool if there was some kind of neat thing on the property. Like, I found a property recently that has this big, huge rock split. It How do I even put this? So the way that it looked from the photos was like you're in the middle of nowhere, but then all of a sudden there were these rocks that split down the middle and opened up a whole entire cave system in the ground. And it doesn't look huge, but it was so cool. And I've been daydreaming about going in there and exploring what's down there. And so, which could be super dangerous, but also could be super cool. And so, I don't know if that will be ever a possibility, but it would be cool to find a property that had something like that on there, some kind of neat, neat thing going on or whatever. Um, Anyways, so I found some different stuff like that too. But yeah, I mean, I just really wanted like a nice big garden where I can my own food and establish sustainability, self-sufficiency, at least by canning my own food. Um I'm not much of a meat person, so I don't think initially having chickens or having animals like that is not going to be my top priority. It's just the garden part. And so really wanting to find a landowner that will I'm good for, making the monthly payments. I just don't want to pay as much as my rent, and that's why I would rather it be less expensive so I want to just pay more and get it paid off like within a year or so. And anyway, all to say a property owner that would let me be able to move onto the property. I also get why they don't want people to do that because there are a lot of people who are getting in over their head and they're not able to finish paying off the property. Something happens, whatever. But I think that would be a lot easier if people were able to take over and move onto their property. Anyways, I'm sure that there's a million reasons why they don't do that because people can move on there and then just stop paying, I'm sure, and then claim I don't know. I don't think you can do that without a deed. I'm trying to figure out why they don't allow that. Because it seems like that would benefit everybody. And maybe that's just the difference between buying a property versus a mortgage. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But it does seem like it's harder to find. And, especially. And I think that's what I'm getting into now. There was a property that I was looking at. I'm making connections. Just long story short, I'm trying to make connections with different people as I get ready to make this, move. And the one of the guys that I was chatting with knows of a property which is a very decent sized property for a very good price. And the problem with that is that you have got to have a septic out there before you can do anything, before you move onto the property. But then I wouldn't be able to move onto the property until it's paid off, and I wouldn't be able to pay it off for the price that it is. It's worth the price, but I wouldn't be able to pay off the property for years, and I don't want to wait years. And so I'm trapped with I'm feeling trapped with that issue. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm sick of paying rent to I'm sick of paying other people to live the life that I want. I can't live the life I want. So my quality of life has been very negatively affected here for different reasons that we don't have to talk about today. But I just want to get there and start living, and there's all of these things that I have to do in order to do that. And all of the what ifs and all of the little challenges that are coming up. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. yeah, the last couple days have been hard for me. I've been struggling a little bit. Chocolate milk and nappies makes that all better. Anyway, I'll be starting my 90-day to off grid countdown, I guess, about next week that we'll do. And I'm feeling ready for that. I've made enough progress around here that I'm ready to start just getting stuff really going. Um, I'll hopefully be putting money down on a property that I find here pretty soon. There's two property owners that I'm chatting with, potentially gonna negotiate some prices with next week, depending on how I feel about it. It's Sunday, so we'll see how I feel about it. But um, yeah, the process of it, and wanting to just get there, but having to take my time and not make any mistakes, hopefully. Um, and I keep hearing slow and steady wins the race, and so I'm like, okay, having a plan and all the things. So yeah. Anyways, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Let me know any thoughts you have in the comments. Um, if you like chocolate milk, hit the thumbs up button, please. And I'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye.